Hello and welcome to Qsports. I am Gajaga and thank you for joining me. Coming up tonight, we're talking about the Inter-Schools Athletics Championship. It is here again. Many schools will compete for the ultimate glory, that is to win a trophy for their school and celebrate with their fans. And also, it would be a venue where other coaches would come in to scout, especially the national team athletics coaches will scout for some of the best talents in the inter-schools competition. It is upon us here again. We're also going to talk about Gambia women's national team who won the bronze medal in the WAFU Zone A competition. And they returned home last night to a heroic welcome. We'll be talking about them as well. All that on tonight's Qsports. Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Mamudu Kajaga and this is Qsports, and we're talking about schools across the country taking part in another competition. It's called the Inter-Schools Athletics Championship, and it is going to be glory for each of the schools if they happen to be emerged as the winners of this competition. And first it begins with the heats where everything started, and then from there we'll have the semi-finals and then the finals. The Independence Stadium used to be the host of the final, but it appears this time around there's going to be lots of difficulty if that is going to happen, or perhaps might not even be possible because of ongoing renovation work at the Independence Stadium. And joining me in the studio are two gentlemen who are executive members of the Gambia Secondary School Sports Association. That's Lamin Jammeh, the Secretary General, and also Usman Kebe, who is the Vice Chairman of the association with me in the studio. We're talking about the inter-schools. It is upon us. Just next weekend, we will have our first hits in the hinterland, if you like, or if you like, also in the regions and the Gambia. Joining me in the studio are two gentlemen. Welcome first, Usman Kebe.
Oh, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Gajaga.
Lamin Jammeh, welcome.
Thank you, Gajaga, and viewers, thank you very much.
Well, something very interesting is happening here. Mr. Usman Kebe was my teacher at primary school, Brikama Primary School. It's some 20 plus years ago. So that's something very interesting. And we are talking about school sports. Mr. Kebe, let me start with you first. This year, the Independence Stadium is under renovation and the inter-schools is happening. We'll start with the hits and then the final, for the most part, has been happening at the Independence Stadium. What's happening?
Well, anyway, we were informed some time ago that the Independence Stadium will be on renovation, and therefore so many sporting activities are halted, and until when the renovation is finished, our organization, like our association, would not be able to take part. And as a result, we were very much aware of that. In our first maiden day meeting, that was what we discussed, and we have another alternative, that if it doesn't happen at the Independence Stadium, what next? Then the executive members were brainstorming, and eventually we came to a point that it could be done in Farafenni and also at Botrop. So these are the two venues that when the Independence Stadium is not possible, it can be held at Botrop or at Farafenni.
Okay. Mr. Jammeh, as far as the preparations are concerned, we understand next weekend is the first hit. Exactly. Where is the venue and how are some of the preparations as far as this athletic competition is concerned among schools?
Yeah, thank you very much. The preparation is on a high gear, and then at the moment already all the stage is set for Bansang. The first hits is going to be at Bansang, and it's going to be on the 3rd. And that means this Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday. All the grounds are already been set, and then the logistical arrangements are almost done now because we are in contact with the people on the ground at Bansang, because we have an LOC. It's a fully fledged executive that is equally doing everything possible to ensure that they put up all the necessary things needed to ensure that the program is very much successful. Because Bansang and that of that is CRR, Central River Region, and the URR, Upper River Region, that is Basse area, are all going to converge at Bansang for 3 days competitions. So already we are very much sure that it's going to be a very successful one at Bansang. From there, then the following weekend, we are going to have it at Farafenye, where the Lower River region, that is Kia and Jara, joining with the Baribu North Bank, and then they will have theirs on the 10th, on the 11th, and on the 12th. That is the upper week. And then from there, then we're going to be at Brikama, that is the powerhouse, the Fonyi, and then the Combos, joining together. And we are going to have it at this place, Botrop, on the 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. After that, then the last hits will be at Greater Banjul. Banjul and KM join together. That they are going to have it on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Due to the renovation that is happening at the stadium, then the alternative for the alternative is going to be at Abuko now. So already the LOC, that's the local organizing committee, have been to the place. They have made all the arrangements, and then with the authorities, so that they can be able to secure the ground, and all the logistics that need to be in place to ensure that they have a very conducive environment for the program to be held there is already in place.
In terms of the number of schools that you are targeting for this athletics championship, we know every year new schools keep adding on the number of schools. Can you cope with it?
Yeah, we obviously, because we are all in it, and then we have got a lot of experience now. So the more they increase, we have the alternatives of what next can we do to make it better than even before. We are even expecting the number to increase further than last year, because few months back we went into the provincial tour where we held our various regional executive meetings, regional congresses rather, and those were very much successful because of that regional congresses, almost all the schools within the region all converge to have their congress, so that they can have the say in the people who are going to serve them in their various regions. So as a result of that, most of them have pledged that obviously this time around they are not going to miss the chance of not participating. And because of that, we are expecting nothing less than 200 schools participating in the entire competition. But we expect that almost every region they are going to have an addition of the schools that do come in and participate in their various regions.
Mr. Kebe, when it comes to some of the added issues when it comes to the competition this year, what is anything, if there is anything new in terms of the competition, the level of competition, the prize money, and also the schools that are participating? Because you have both the secondary school and also you have the senior secondary school participating in this competition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gajeka. I think the Secondary School Sports Association have increased from a level to another level, and because of what Mr. James said, the importance that is attached to it by parents and stakeholders, every year schools are increasing, and as a result, as schools are increasing, we are also putting in plans to make sure that we cope with the situation, as you have rightly said. Probably there is no increment in the prize money for now, but we are anticipating later that would happen, for the fact that the Secondary School Sport Association at the moment, Mr. Gajaka, we are looking for funding. We are looking for institutions to come and then partner with us, so that their services and product can be had by the general body. So as a result, I think the most important thing is always to make sure that the PE teachers are informed as to how new regulations are emanating from the athletics competition, so that if it is to go by, they will be able to abreast themselves to know that these are the new regulations that have come across, and then we did our best to make sure that they are informed of any new regulations that we are aware of, and then we will send it to them at their various level to discuss at their local organizing committee level, so that PE teachers at various schools would be informed and then to be aware of that, because we don't want anybody to be caught unaware of a fact that you would say to that you are not recognizing or you are not aware of certain of these regulations. So those are some of the new things, but by and far, I think we are almost there. They are aware of how the program starts. It is a 3-day thing at the provinces, and it is very hectic, but we are making sure that we do things by standard, and then we are improving day in and day out.
When it comes to doing things by standard, Mr. Jam, I'll engage you here. The registration of the athletes, each school would send in the name of participants that they would have to represent their school. But sometimes we see a situation where schools would appeal that a particular athlete ran for a particular school, shouldn't have taken part in this competition. and we have lots of quarrels here and there. Sometimes it's been smooth for the past few years. I've attended some of them, of course, the inter-schools hits and even the finals. It has been smooth, but we do see some of these things. In order to avoid that, what have you put in place?
Yeah, I think definitely as far as the school sport is concerned, we have made a very tough stand, in trying to cope the issue of cheating, because all what we are talking about is related to cheating, meaning they are using athletes that are not eligible or they are not qualified to participate in the competition because they want to cheat in order to be able to win. And then as far as we are concerned, we have a zero tolerance on that. If you could recall last year, we came up with regulations, and when it was said, initially people thought that it's not going to happen because we cannot just be mad enough to go and just suspend schools like that. But we stood on our ground to ensure that zero tolerance is zero tolerance on cheating. And we meant it, and we applied it.
And if I may jump in here, I think there are certain schools which were suspended before.
Yeah.
Are their suspension lifted? Are they back to compete this time, or are they still?
Yeah, last year, 22 schools were suspended. 22 schools were suspended. And then among some of those 22 schools, some of them were big guns. People even thought that, those people, that cannot happen. But it has happened.
Like they are untouchable.
Yeah, they are untouchable. And then as far as we are concerned, all schools are equal before us. And we ensure that regulations are applied to the letter, and that has happened. And I think this time around it has sent a very good warning, very good message to everyone. Like you said, the schools that were suspended last year, because it was initial plan that we just come up with and said, for the first time, we are going to ensure that anybody who found cheating, you're out of the competition. And that was only for last year. And then meaning now all those schools are back. But this time around, the new regulation is if you are caught cheating, obviously you are going for 2 years suspension straight, meaning added to the year that you have found cheating, meaning 3 years in total. So this is the new regulations now. That means any school that is found wanting, you are going for 3 years. Technically, you are going for 3 years.
At this point in the program, Mr. Jammeh, sometime last week on a Tuesday, the death of Idrissa Marong had been announced, according to family sources, and also some people who broke the news on social media. Idrissa was sick for a while, and then, after going to the hospital back and forth, he couldn't make it, he couldn't survive it, and later passed away. We paid tribute to him on this particular program last Tuesday. But when it comes to Idrissa Marong, how would the Gambia Secondary School Sports Athletic Association remember him? First, let me start with you, Mr. Usman Kebe.
Yes, may his soul rest in perfect peace. Just to remind you that today we have a press conference at the Gambia Teachers Union Conference Hall. And the first thing that we did is to pay a tribute by praying for Idrissa and any other athletes who passed away within the period. And obviously, we felt very bad about it because Idrissa is an athlete. It has been performing, and it has a high level of athletes in this country. And in fact, he is among those who help us when we are when we converge at the independent stadiums and other regions. And they are the guys that we rely on to come and then support and to make sure that they can also lead the way for the young athletes that are coming up. So we felt very bad about it, but then we can't do much about it. I think it is the time of God that has called, and he has answered to Allah's call, and then we pray for his soul to rest in perfect peace. But we still felt bad about it because he's one of those athletes who have performed very well, though from the secondary school level and then up to where he was at the time of his death. We are even informed that he was helping Latrikunda Saviji for the past years in the athletics training, and then he has built up a very good, solid team for that school. Therefore, we felt very bad about it, but notwithstanding, we pray once more again that his soul rests in perfect peace.
Mr. Jammeh, Idrissa is the record holder when it comes to the 800 meters as far as Gambian athletics is concerned. Having lost somebody like that who has passed through the schools, you and I were at the 2018 National Inter-Schools Athletics Championship, interviewed Idrissa yourself. How would you remember him?
I remembered him as an icon, in athletics, in sports in general. Idrissa is a charming character. When he's participating, everybody wants to see him participate. because he doesn't only run, but he puts a lot of flavor in the running by ensuring that he entertains the crowds. And equally he is full of energy. That's why people just gave him a nickname, Energy.
Energy, yeah.
Because when he runs with passion, he runs with vigor, he runs with complete heart to ensure that he comes out with something. And that's what we are going to miss. It's going to be very difficult to see another quality of Idrissa into another athlete, because he has a lot of things in it. He doesn't only run just for the sake of running, but he runs with passion. He ensures that he takes it as a trait because he wants to become an elite athlete in this country, just like the likes of Gina Bass and others. And I think he has made a great remark on that, because he's a record holder in the 800 meters. He has represented the country at international level. So definitely we are going to miss him on that part. But as far as we are concerned, we will definitely remember Idrissa in a more befitting way. Not only by praying for him, but we are thinking, although we have not come up with any tangible plans as of now, but we definitely will come up with something that will be memorable. But equally, not only Idrissa, within that space of time, we lost another guy athlete, called Yaya Diba, commonly known as Jaranko. He's also another formidable athlete of Botrop. He has been very much outstanding when it comes to 100 and 200 meters within his time. And then he has done great. Equally, losing such type of brilliant athletes within that space of time, it was a great, great loss for this country. And then obviously, we are still mourning about these two gentlemen, their demise. But we pray that God Almighty grant them eternal peace in heaven.
Amen. Let's talk about school athletics and school sports in general. Sports is an avenue where you can learn a trade in the sense that sports can employ you in the future. You can become a professional, and you can get lots of endorsements. At school sports, are you thinking about sports being a business, helping these athletes, shaping them, giving them that platform to compete, and then from there they can be scouted at the professional level, they can also be scouted even at the national level?
Yeah, at our part, I think we are doing our part very well as far as school sport is concerned, because we are a grassroots sport, and then we nurture the talents when they are young. But our responsibility, have a limit.
Yes.
When they graduate from grade 12, they are no more under our control. They are now moved to another level, that is GA, and then now up to any other level. But as far as they are within our competition level, obviously we do our best. That's why schools are putting a lot of energies to ensure that these athletes are well trained, they are well motivated, so that by the time they graduate from grade 12, most of the institutions will be able to catch them and then employ them. Because we have seen the police, the army, and others are employing a lot of these youngsters as a result of their talent that they have exhibited, as far as the discipline is concerned, that is athletics is concerned, or football, or any other. Because we, as far as secondary school is concerned, we are not only limited to football, athletics, but football and all other
sports. Yeah.
So one part is to prepare them, and then expose them to the wider world. But the next level now is the GA and any other. So we are now employing on GA to ensure that they also move up, take it from where we stopped and move to the next level by introducing a lot of competitions. And by doing that one, obviously it's going to improve their level, improve their standard, because athletics is all about timing. The more you involve in competition, the more your timing will improve. And the more your timing improves, obviously, you'll be able to have the chance to participate internationally. So this is the only advice that we can give. But our level, obviously, we are doing our part by ensuring that we exploit the raw talent, the hidden ones, bring them to the limelight so that the people can be able to see them and then pick them from there.
Mr. Kebe, just on a final note, we're running out of time. What is going to happen in the next few days as far as this school sports is concerned, the preparation aspect of it? Is everything
The Secretary General have said it all.
Yeah.
In all the regions where they are divided into zones, already you have the LOC in all the regions, and the LOCs are in full gear. We've informed them as to the plan, as to what they would do at their level. They are also prepared, fully aware. Up to today, we've been communicating to make sure that they are aware that on the 3rd, we will be at Bansang, and therefore they are doing all their utmost to make sure that all necessary plans are in place. The other thing you've talked about, like sports, is an integral part of the education policy up to 2030. And as a result, that is why the Secondary School Sport Association is giving all the mandate by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, and that is why we are going by. And then sport is excellence as well. We are not encouraging only for the Gambian children to come and then just become athletes, and then that's where it stops. We encourage them to make sure that it goes along with education, because sports in general is also an excellence. So just to tell you that we are at a very high gear in terms of the preparation. As we have said, we are aware that schools are increasing to come and participate because of the manner, the character it is done in this country. And as a result, they all want to come and then showcase their talent at regional level and also at the national level. So to inform you that we are very much well prepared, and that's why today we have our final meetings as an executive to make sure that all things are in place, so that when we start from Bansang, we will continue to succeed, and then we will be planning better and better up to the national level. Mr. Gajaka.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Usman Kebe. We will take a short break, and when we come back, next is the Gambia women's national football team, who recently participated in the WAFU Zone A women's senior competition and came out third in the competition. They played in the playoff and ended up having a bronze medal.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. This is Qsports, and I'm Mamadou Gajaga. We're now going to talk about women's football, as the Gambian national women's team won the bronze medal in the WAFU Zone A competition, which was recently held in Cape Verde. Well, in the competition, they first won against Sierra Leone by 4-1, and then, they won their second game against Guinea 1-0, and later on played against Senegal, where they lost by 4-1. Well, obviously, Mati Manga being one of the brilliant players in the competition who scored 7 goals. Let's get this report. 3-3, but thanks to the Gambia has something to celebrate as they win the bronze medal after defeating Guinea-Bissau 3-2 in the third place match of the WAFU Zone A Women's Football Championship in Cape Verde. Winger Ola Buaro scored a brace before the Guinea-Bissau ladies pulled one back. Substitute Kadi Jajo scored to make it 3-1 in added time. Just when it appeared it was all over, Guinea-Bissau gave themselves a lifeline, scoring a second goal to reduce the deficit. They nearly made it 3-3, but thanks to the resolute defending, the Gambia preserved their lead until full time to bag the bronze medal. Senegal won the competition for the second time in a row after defeating host Cape Verde 1-0 in the final. Apart from the medal for the Gambia, their players also won individual awards. Catherine Jatta, who scored a remarkable 7 goals in the competition, was awarded Woman of the Match in their 4-1 win against Sierra Leone, where she scored all of Gambia's goals. Goalkeeper Mati Manga was also presented with a Woman of the Match award in the 1-0 victory over Guinea. Ola Buaro received a similar award for her performance against Guinea-Bissau in the third-place playoff. Well, that's it. We say congratulations to the Gambia national women's team for that very, very good accolade that they had, and we wish them all the best of luck in their subsequent competitions in the future. Well, that's it for Qsports tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Join us next week and keep on sporting. Bye for now.